Good evening and welcome into Ashe County High School. The sights for tonight is Friday night football matchup between your Ashe County Huskies and the visiting RJ Reynolds Demons. Tyler Ashe high atop the press box alongside Nathan Ham. Happy to be back in with you once again, bringing you the action from Ashe County High School. Nate, Huskies 2-0 as we see there on screen. Reynolds yet to scratch the win column yet, but should be a competitive matchup here tonight. A very athletic team from Reynolds.
Absolutely, and from what I've heard, Reynolds, they have some great athletes, but right now they're just trying to really learn how to play football. I know that may sound weird, but sometimes, you know, growing up you don't get the best coaching in the world. Get to the high school level, you've got a ton of athleticism, but not really sure what to do with it.
And of course, the Ashe County Huskies coming off of a big win last week. Nate, you and I were both there. Very exciting matchup the first time. The Huskies were able to come away with a victory in 13 seasons. And it'll be interesting to see how they rebound after such a big victory such as that, if that momentum will carry over into this week.
Yeah, it will be. Hopefully we don't see a letdown tonight. It could happen, but I'm sure Coach Hampton's probably drilled that into his players all week long. You know, it's not Watauga this week. It's not a rival, but you still have to go out there, play hard, play as a team, and get that win.
And while the captains meet at midfield, we'll give you a look back at some of the highlights from last week's matchup against the Watauga Pioneers. The 6-yard line, Bowers dropping back, has his man wide open. Now Ellis cutting it back to the middle, and he's in.
Great play call there.
4 wide set, trips to the left. He's looking this way, going deep down the field, and has his man, it is caught. And a great reception is made by Carter Calhoun all the way down to the 16-yard line, and this Husky offense is in business once again. Joined by Ellis and Sullivan in the backfield, drops back to pass. Rolling out to that right side, has his man wide open, and Sky Sullivan is the recipient of that one. 6 points for the Huskies. Immediately following, can he get rid of it? No, he's going to be brought down, and wrapping him up was number 33, Brandon Blevins, the senior, coming in making a huge play. Boy, did you see that end-to-end speed. 3 receivers to his left. Connor Bowers rolling out this way, throws it deep on the run, has his man Calhoun wide open. So an interesting choice here, having some faith in his kicker. Boy, he's going to have to get this one off. The play clock running low. Can he get the snap off in time? They're going to say he does. The kick is up, and it's good. The Huskies have taken the lead on a 34-yard field goal from Kendall Richardson, and it's chaos on that Husky sideline. Now, looking to roll out to the far sideline, chucks it deep down the field, and that one is going to be going the other way, and the Huskies have come up with a huge defensive play, and it looks like they're going to come out of here with a big-time victory tonight. So Nate, there, as we see there from the highlights, just a very entertaining matchup. It wasn't the 50-42 shootout we saw in week 1, but as we said last week, the Huskies didn't have to put up 50 points in that game, winning that tightly contested matchup, and we see the Huskies taking the field there again. The final score last week, 16-13, and couldn't ask for a much more entertaining matchup than that.
Yeah, it was good to see our defense really bounce back from week 1, where they gave up a whole lot of yards and a whole lot of points. But Watauga really could not get much going, especially in that passing game. You see 76 yards of passing there. The Husky secondary did a great job.
Yeah, and as you see there, the great offense, as we've seen, continued. Over 350 yards of total offense from the Huskies, as we can see there on screen. And you mentioned it there, the defense really came back with a much-needed big-time game there, and very similar to what we saw last season from the Huskies defense.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Coach Hampton had a whole lot to replace from last year's team, but nonetheless, the young guys that were on last year's team, they've really stepped it up this year, and we're getting some great play from some underclassmen like Tristan Jones, to name one. I believe he's been the leading tackler in both our games so far this year. Hopefully that will continue, and the seniors will keep doing their job as well.
Earlier tonight, they rolled out the big American flag, to say the least. As you can see on screen now, covered most of the field, and a big salute there to all those involved with that pregame ceremony. And we're just about ready for action here. Reynolds did win the coin toss, deferred to the second half, and the Huskies are ready to go to receive the opening kickoff. And we see there at midfield, Nate, very nice job there on painting the Husky. An unusual side here, but very nice job there at center field.
Absolutely. It looks like somebody did a really good job on that. I'm sure one of the classes at the high school took care of that for the football program.
So Once again, Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham bringing you the action here on the Sky Zone HD Channel 1. Glad to have you tuned in for what should be a very entertaining matchup, and this game brought to you by Miller Insurance, located in downtown West Jefferson. Auto, home, life, and more. See Miller Insurance for all your insurance needs. And they're lined up for the kickoff. As we see the Miller Insurance scoreboard come onto the field, and we are underway. Colin Ellis takes this one from about his own 1-yard line, trying to find some room back across the middle, getting some nice blocks, Nate, and not bad field position there for the Huskies. They'll start out from their own 26.
A nice return there to start the game. We'll see what Connor Bowers and offense have in store for the Huskies.
And as we see this Ashe County offense take the field, they are led, as you mentioned there, by senior quarterback Connor Bowers, having a great season so far, completing over 61% of his passes, good enough for 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Really toned it down in that last game, I should say, interception-wise, cut down on the mistakes. We see an early miscue right there, but only throwing, the one interception. It was a pick 6, but did throw a couple of scores. And after that 6-touchdown game, hard to follow up that, but he did a very nice job nonetheless.
Yeah, in any version of football, the fewer turnovers, the better. And, of course, Connor only throwing 1 interception last game. We'll see if he won't throw for any today.
We see him drop back this time. He does find Mason McNeil, and there's a welcome sight, I know, for Coach Brian Hampton. And, of course, Husky fans. Mason McNeil sitting out last week with the concussion, and his presence is much welcomed by Connor Bowers. Very nice target to have out there on the outside.
Mason's a tremendous deep threat, and also showing right there he can pull in the short passes, get a few extra yards with his speed.
We see the Huskies in this 4-wide set, trips to the near side, and Bowers looking this way across the middle, finds McNeil once again, and that's going to be enough to move the chains for this Ashe County offense.
And another pass, number 4, Mason McNeil, and another completion. And that'll move to 6 for Ashe County. They'll have another 1st and 10 at the.
So as we said there, the Huskies coming in undefeated on the season. Reynolds yet to scratch the surface, but we know a couple of guys on their offensive end could present some matchup problems as we progress through this game.
Absolutely. They have a strong rushing attack and a pair of really tall receivers that could give the Huskies some problems.
So we see Connor Bowers there on the scramble, picking up some nice yardage on 1st and 10, call it a gain of about 8 on the scramble. And that's something we don't see a lot of from Bowers, but I tell you what, that's maybe a situation last year where he tried to force a throw, and this year we've seen him be able to just tuck and run.
Connor's not afraid to run at all. Hopefully our offensive line can block for him and he won't have to run very much.
And there we see the sophomore Sky Sullivan, who's been a big part of the offensive game plan for the Huskies so far this season. He and Colin Ellis out of the backfield, a very dynamic duo. And we'll see who gets the bulk of the carries tonight. First game it was Sullivan. Last week it was more Ellis. And out of the gates right here, looks like it's going to be Sullivan as the main ball carrier, as we see Ellis being lined up at wide receiver. Of course, they are without the services of Carter Calhoun tonight. And, boy, I tell you what, he had a big game against Watauga.
He sure did. Hopefully he won't be out of action for too long.
Bowers gets the shotgun snap going over to the left side. Maybe a little miscue once again. Plenty of defenders around, but that one thrown well short of the intended target. They'll say Mason McNeil he was looking for. And that's going to be a quick opportunity here for Jacob Levins and this punting team to come onto the field for the Huskies as they are unable to pick up the first down near midfield.
And good defensive stand by Reynolds. I'm sure they're hoping to come up the mountain, maybe pull off an upset up here, and defense did what they needed to do right there.
Levins gets off a good punt. Will be fielded, dropped, but handled back quickly at the 19. And, boy, what great closing speed right there.
Evan Owen, tremendous tackle. He's been doing it all season long. Had some big catches last week against Watauga. He's made some special teams tackles in the first 3 games as well. And another tremendous open field tackle.
And now we see the Reynolds offense take the field for the first time. Nate, expect a lot of option from these guys.
Absolutely. They love to run the ball, and when they do throw, they've got a couple of huge targets out there to toss the ball to.
So we see lined up one of those big targets on the far side of the field, number 1, Hanif Hall, stands in there at 6'5". Present a matchup problem, just one of 2 big receivers for this team. And man in the quarterback position, see there, number 17, Jake Long. We see a quick toss to the near side, taking it out. Still going down the sidelines, out across the 50, 40. They're going to say he was out of bounds back on his side of the field. But, man, I'll tell you what, great speed right out of the gates from Patrick Harrison.
That was great speed. Really took advantage of what the Huskies were giving them, which was the sideline there. The Huskies looked like they did a good job closing the middle down, but the pitch to the outside, Husky defense had no one home.
That's something we saw Watauga have success with. Of course, that was a running play there, but in the second half, Bentley Critcher, those rollouts to the left and the right side, they had a lot more success going through the air that way, and that might be something you might see Reynolds try to capitalize on as well as getting to the outside.
And, you know, Coach Hampton paid attention to that last week as well, and I'm sure he's preached in practice this week to the Huskies to, you know, watch the boundaries and don't get sucked into the middle.
And in motion and good snap count there. That's going to draw the Husky defense offside, so that'll give Reynolds 5 additional yards on this opening drive and move it up there just shy of midfield. They'll call it at the 49-yard line. Some early movement there may have been from number 77, Jason Baker. First down and 5 after the penalty. Reynolds trying to hold their serve here after forcing the Ashe County Huskies to punt on their first offensive possession. Here is that toss to the far side this time, getting some room, moving it upfield nicely, and all the way out across the 40-yard line, well into Husky territory.
That was junior there, Marvin Lee, great speed on the other side of the field. Husky defense need to make some adjustments here early, really giving way too much room on the outside.
So they will mark it right at the 40-yard line of the Huskies, and quickly here, Nate, Reynolds threatening early, and we didn't see a whole lot of this last week from Watauga. Ashe really able to limit them on their offensive possessions.
Reynolds has to be pleased with what they've been able to do so far. A pair of really good running plays, and looks like they may have the Huskies off balance.
Jake Long under center, as you'll probably see him there pretty much exclusively tonight. Now one of the men you'll see out of the backfield, that time getting the carry, number 4. That's Krishawn Harrison. Coming up with a nice gainer there. Second down, about 3 yards to go for the first. A big crowd here at Husky Stadium tonight. Ready to see their Huskies try to continue their winning ways. As we said, off to a great start, already 2-0, and would be great here for the Huskies, Nate, to see tonight if they could come up with back-to-back wins over 4A schools.
Absolutely. I believe that'd be the first time in history that happened.
There's the pitch this time to the far sideline, but he's going to be stood up pretty quickly and knocked down there on the sideline. Nice job there, penetration from the Ashe County Huskies, closing out that outside that time.
And good job forcing a 3rd and long right here. See if the Huskies can pin their ears back a little bit. You might expect them, the Demons, put the ball in the air here. Maybe not, though, with the success they've had running the ball. But hopefully the Huskies can get a stop.
3rd down and 9, they'll call it. Maybe 9.5 from the Husky 39.5-yard line. Long under center. 3 men joining him in the backfield. We see the man in motion. Here's the toss to the near side now, trying to find some room. Getting to the outside and up across the 30 and then some. There we see another great run from number 15, Patrick Harrison. I'll tell you what, they're running all over this Husky defense in the early going.
So far, Harrison really likes running to that left side. 2 big carries for him. And obviously the Demons just wanted to ignore what I was saying. Why pass the ball when you can get about 15 on the ground?
So big time gain there. Gains about 18 yards on that carry all the way down to the Husky 21, just outside of red zone territory, and they are threatening very early in this ball game as this Demon offense. So many weapons out of that backfield. I tell you, Reynolds, so many athletes. As you said, if they can pull it all together, they could come up with a very nice season with all these athletes we're seeing in the early goings. We see Long, another athlete at the quarterback position. He likes to take it and run it himself and gets inside the 15-yard line, picks up about 6 yards on first down.
Reynolds turning to a sophomore quarterback this year, Jake Lang, replacing an upperclassman from last year. So far, he's really added another dimension right there with that little carry as well. I believe that's at least 4 different ball carriers they've thrown at the Husky defense.
And excuse me, there you are correct. That is Jake Lang. Misread the scorecard here. But he did pick up a long gainer there on first down. And this time, nothing doing as we see senior man Brandon Blevins come back and make a big play. Maybe a bit of a face mask, but great job there penetrating that offensive line.
Absolutely. Good to see the defensive line for the Huskies getting some push up front.
So mark him back. He'll lose 1 or 2 on that play. 15-yard line brings up another third down situation. 4 yards to go this time. Much more manageable situation. We'll see what Reynolds comes up with. Can this Ashe County defense step up and make a stop in the early going? Still no score early on in this first quarter. Man in motion. This time on the option, pitches it to the outside, trying to find first down yardage. Oh, and unloading the boom that time for the Huskies, number 28, Tristan Jones. And the Huskies come up with the ball, Nate.
That was a big hit right there, and great play by the defense right when they needed it the most.
Of course, hold everything here. We do see flags come out there during the play. We'll see who this is on. And looks like that's going to be against Reynolds as we see the Husky offense coming onto the field once again.
Great stop right when they needed it, give the offense the ball back. Field position, probably not as great as you want it, but still, anything that keeps them out of the end zone, that's a good thing.
As you said it there, Husky defense looking like they did last week and last season, coming up with a key turnover at big moments here after failing to score on their first drive, and then Reynolds piecing together a very nice drive of their own on their first offensive possession, but Ashe County making them pay.
We'll see what the Husky offense has in store after their first possession. 1st and 10, Connor Bowers.
This time he will hand it off to Sullivan. Some room to run over on that far sideline, cut it back to the middle and all the way out across the 35-yard line.
Big run for the sophomore and powerful running back as well.
As we mentioned, so far this season it's been sort of a flip-flop. Sullivan got the carries the first game, Ellis week 2, and it looks like they're going to go to the workhorse Sullivan out of the backfield this time tonight. And hey, why not give it to him again, this time making some initial contact there in the backfield, able to power through that. First contact was made by number 18, John Pope. Not much doing that time for Sullivan, just a gain of about 2. 2nd down and 8 situation now. Bowers lining up again in the gun. Sticking with this 4-wide set of the Huskies. Dropping back, has plenty of time to throw. Catch Blevins coming across the middle. He makes a nice move, and another, stiff arming people left and right. Finally will be stood up at about the 44-yard line, but we do see some laundry on the field.
Keon Greer there with the tackle for the Demons.
So we'll see what this flag will be thrown in the area of. Maybe some holding against Ashe. Like an illegal block going to be called against the Huskies. Unfortunate for them. I tell you what, Blevins doing some shaking and baking and dropping those defenders left and right like a bad habit on that play.
Put his speed and quickness to use right there. Unfortunately, the block in the back eliminates most of that pass play.
So that'll drop them back. It'll be about 2nd down and 15, they'll call it, from their own 31-yard line after the penalty. Reversing it now as we see the 3 wide to the left, and 1 on the near side, that being Blevins, and he's looking for Blevins deep down the field. Just a little too much mustard on that one. Maybe a bit outside as well, but like the idea there, the Huskies trying to air it out early.
Blevins had a step on his man. Throw was a little bit too far. Connor maybe a little bit of jitters right here opening this game. But got to be happy there. The Huskies getting some guys open against this Reynolds defense.
That's something we didn't see a lot of in the first half from Ashe County, going deep down the field. We did see Bowers hooking up with wideout Carter Calhoun multiple times in the second half, coming up with some huge plays that set up the game-winning drive. But right now the Huskies looking to air it out early and often, as they have much of the season. Here we go, 4-wide set again on 3rd and 15, setting up the screen play. Nice catch made by Sullivan, trying to make something happen. Not going to get the first down yardage, but still a nice pickup on 3rd and long.
Yeah, it makes the field position quite a bit better. Hopefully, assuming they'll punt it here. Looks like Blevins is out there, but the way he's punted this year, he could be able to drop them deep inside their own 20 here. That would be nice for the defense.
So 4th and 5, bring on the kicking team. And we'll see Jacob Blevins punt this one away. Good snap. And kicks this one, gets his leg into that one. Be fielded At the 22-yard line, ball hits the turf, and who comes up with it? And they'll say Reynolds recovers the ball, but boy, I tell you what, almost a big mistake there by the returning team.
A dangerous play. I'm not sure he waited for a fair catch at all, and then looked like he just let it bounce right into his legs and kind of fell on it there. But unfortunately for the Huskies, the Demons were able to maintain possession.
So Reynolds comes back onto the field. After a promising start to their last drive, turnover ultimately ended it prematurely for them. Ashe County coming up with a big turnover and the fumble recovery. And they'll start out from their own 22-yard line, first down and 10. That's when you have the referees calling for a stoppage there momentarily. While we have a minute, talked about Ashe County having a nice game last week against Watauga. We see some of the top performers there, as you mentioned. Bowers coming up with a huge game, 2 TD passes. Colin Ellis yet to hear his name tonight except on the first return, but he had a very nice game, over 120 yards all-purpose and a touchdown as well. And we'll get back to that in just a moment as Lang is under center. And Reynolds will resume play on offense now. And this time just straight up the gut handoff. Nice job there by the Huskies, not allowing much. There we see in on the tackle Hunter Scott among a couple of other Husky defensive linemen. But looking back once again, last week's top performers for the Huskies, you talked about it earlier on, Tristan Jones, 10 big tackles, 2 for a loss, and already the sophomore making a big impact at the varsity level, leading the team in tackles on the season.
And Joseph Lauder as well, 2 big interceptions. Really filling that safety spot well, vacated by Michael Elliott from last year's team.
And a long toss out to the right side. Harrison looking to make it happen and getting out past the first down marker. That'll move the chains once again. Excuse me, that was number 6, Marvin Lee. Another one of these athletes. Seems like they love to use Lee to the far side and Harrison on the left side.
They do. They seem to have a good game plan here for which back gets the ball where, and I'm sure the Huskies will get more aware of that as the game goes on. But right now, the Demons really using the outside edges to their advantage. Not much running up the middle.
So first and 10, marking at the 36-yard line. Reynolds looking good early on in this drive. Man in motion. The toss will come to him. This time, Hairston again. Now he's going to cut it back in reverse fields. Going back, can the Huskies get him? One missed tackle, and he's going to turn it up the field now across the 40, 45, and finally forced out of bounds. Boy, I tell you what, look at that speed shown there by number 15, Patrick Harrison.
And it looks like a late flag as well. They may have gotten the Huskies for a late hit there. That's a whole lot of running for about 12, 13 yards. I'd hate to know how much he actually put into that one.
As you said it there, cutting back across, reversing fields as he did. So we see personal foul. That's going to be probably a late hit against the Huskies. Unfortunate penalty for them, but boy, that doesn't negate the great run there by Patrick Harrison. You said he ran a lot more than those 12 yards, and those are well-deserved yardage right there.
He did. He may need a breather after that one.
So tack on 15 more from the end of the run, moves it well into Husky territory down to their 36-yard line. I tell you what, Reynolds looking very good offensively so far in this game. You take away that turnover they had, and really they've had a lot of success on the ground.
Their rushing attack has worked extremely well, and of course the Huskies can't fall asleep on a passing play here. Even some of the best running teams, they always have one pass play drawn up to try to catch a team off guard.
Yeah, you talk about that secondary creeping in. Maybe try to catch him with an extra man in the box and go over the top as we see timeout called by Reynolds. And we'll pull it up again there. Last week's big-time performers for the Ashe County Huskies. And, of course, absent tonight, Carter Calhoun stepping up and filling the shoes, and big shoes those were to fill, by Mason McNeil, but he did so in convincing fashion. 5 catches and 97 yards, nearly crossing the century mark.
And a couple of huge catches right when the Huskies needed them last week as well.
And there you see at the bottom of the screen, maybe the guy who, even though he missed a field goal and an extra point earlier in the game, could very well argue he was the player of the game for Ashe County. Kendall Richardson, the ice in the veins, and nailing that 37-yard field goal, and even a little bit more pressure on him as the play clock almost expired on the Huskies. Got that off with about 1 second on the clock.
Extremely clutch kick. You know, Hampton, the team, had some faith in him, and he went out there and he delivered.
Back to the action now after the timeout. Still no score in this ball game. Midway through the first period, nothing. Reynolds burned their first of 3 timeouts. Ashe County still with a full slate. Man in motion again. We'll see which direction they try to go. Fakes the toss. You called it, and they're going to run it. Lang tosses it. Oh, my goodness, doing his best Dikembe Mutombo impersonation. Brandon Blevins says, no, no, no.
That right there, he looked like he almost threw that ball into Blevins' face mask. He hardly had to jump for that one.
So swatted down after Lang tried to go through the air. I believe that was the first time. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. So the senior captain, Brandon Blevins, coming up with another big play. We saw in the highlights there before the game, he came up with a nice sack. They may have called it a gain of about a yard, and they've not credited with the sack, but that great play where he had such great end-to-end speed, showing that off for the big defensive lineman. Man in motion again, but whistle before they get the snap off, and that's going to be a false start against RJ Reynolds, so move the Demons back 5 yards, and we will redo 2nd down. This time make it 2nd down and 15 after the penalty, backing them up to the 41-yard line of the Huskies. But I'll tell you what, a lot of this game has been played in Husky territory.
It has, and so far the Demons have just beaten themselves up with turnovers and penalties coming at bad times.
After the penalty, 2nd down, 15 yet again. This time they're going to try to run it up the middle, and breaking tackles left and right, finding some room across the 25, 20, will finally be wrestled down out of bounds. And a great run that time. That was number 4, Krishawn Harrison.
Showing some good speed there, gets through the middle and then immediately cuts it outside and takes the ball down to the Husky 13-yard line.
So Reynolds quickly threatening yet again. As you said, it well into red zone territory, 1st and 10 from the 13 of the Huskies. We'll see how Ashe County responds after giving up the big gainer on the ground. Lang under center. Man in motion, handoff. Should have kept it himself that time on the option, and the Huskies come up with a big defensive play led by number 52, senior Sean Baker.
And right there, Harrison had no room to run. Great job by the Husky defense clogging the middle.
Hey, it's hard to, from up here especially, to even spot who has the ball. So many weapons out of the backfield for this team, Lang included at the quarterback position. You never know who's going to come up the middle with those balls or to the outside edge. Now 2nd and 10. No gain, they call it, on the 1st down play. This time Lang's going to keep it himself, finding some room on that left side. And, boy, I tell you what, maybe not the greatest speed, but, boy, just quick getting through that hole.
Very quick and very quick decision-making right there. Saw the hole, immediately took it, did not risk the pitch there, and got it down inside the Husky 10.
I tell you, Lang impressively running this option attack so far for Reynolds. You called it. The sophomore stepping up with some big plays here early on. That'll make it 3rd down and 4. All down at the 7-yard line. Still can pick up the first without getting into the end zone. There's low. Lang keeps it himself, and, man, he was walloped that time. And on that, we see senior captain Brandon Blevins once again. There is a flag on the play. Also joining in on the fun, we saw number 28, Tristan Jones. I believe that's going to go against RJ Reynolds. So as you said it there just a moment ago, you're shooting yourselves in the foot right here. If it weren't for the penalties and the one key turnover, Reynolds could potentially have a couple of scores on the board already.
It could be. The Huskies could be back up against it, but instead they've gotten some breaks to go their way, and they made their own luck forcing that fumble as well.
So 5-yard penalty. Back them up, makes it 3rd down and 9. Back at the 12-yard line now. Going to get down to about the 4 for the 1st down marker. Lang rolling out, looking to throw. Can he get rid of it? Throws off his back foot, has his man wide open, touchdown. But there is a flag on the play. We'll see if this one will stand. Nice catch there in the back of the end zone, getting wide open. We saw there number 1, Heineef Hall, we mentioned him earlier, the 6'5 senior wideout. Looks like this one will be coming back. So that's going to back him up another 5 yards. Leaves a holding penalty downfield. So from the spot of the foul, backs him up. It ends up being about 5 more yards. 3rd down and 15. So it was a very manageable 3rd and 4. Now turns into 3rd and very long. Lang dropping straight back, throwing across the middle. Nobody home. He was looking for number 6, Marvin Lee, but unable to hook up with his man out of the backfield.
And once again, you see penalties and turnovers costing the Demons again. Had a surefire touchdown on the board, but now it looks like they're going to have to settle for a field goal attempt. Number 30, Rand Fisher, in to attempt the field goal here.
Ball spotted on the 16-yard line. About a 33-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is up, and really no chance on that one. Looked like a knuckleball going through the air, and the Huskies get a break, and still no score late in the first period. So as we see the Huskies take the field, take a look at where the Huskies have been so far and what the future holds for the Ashe County Huskies. We see there already 2 big victories over North Surrey and Watauga, 50-42 over North Surrey, 16-13 over Watauga. And as we see here, Reynolds, another 4A squad they'll entertain. And I'll tell you, the next one is going to be a tough one, Nate, at High Brighton on the road.
Yeah, that'll really be a measuring stick for where our program is this year. High Brighton, a pair of tremendous running backs, really rely on their rushing attack, and the Huskies going to have to play some top-notch defense if they want to win that game.
And there we see again early season numbers from Connor Bowers, 643 yards, averaging up to 320 a game. So really cranking it up as we see him connect, go to the air once again, and connect with junior wideout Mason McNeil. He's going to be brought down by number 28, Brandon Duckett. But we've yet to see really try to air it out and go deep to McNeil as we saw a lot last season. But McNeil coming up already, I believe, with 3 catches in this ball game.
Yeah, right now they're going for the short passing game to see if one of their speedy receivers can break one loose.
So they'll call a 5-yard gainer. Brings up 2nd down and 5 for the Huskies. Here we see Worley, Ellis, McNeil on the left. Blevins lined up to the right. And they're going to go to Ellis and making a nice catch and taking it all the way across the 40-yard line. I'll tell you, that was just pinpoint accuracy that time, too, by Bowers, slipping it through the defender's hands.
Was, and we see a late flag here. Not sure what that's going to be for, but Ellis using his speed to get open there, and looked like Derek Horn there for the tackle.
And we talk about it, a big stat that goes unnoticed a lot, yards after catch. And I tell you what, Ellis, we see that all season long here in the early going, making the most of his opportunities and picking up a lot of yards after he makes the reception.
And for a sophomore, very impressive for a young guy to come on this stage and flourish like he has so far.
So the referee's having a discussion here. Not sure I'm going to get the word right here. Unsportsmanlike conduct, that's going to go against Reynolds. So another early flag against them and a big-time penalty. That's going to give Ashe an additional 15 yards.
Looks like moves it down to the Demon 43-yard line. First time the Huskies have really threatened so far. Maybe they can put this one in the end zone.
Still no score in this ball game, as the first quarter will come to a close. And stay tuned in as teams will reverse fields. We'll get started with second quarter action in just a moment here on the Sky Zone HD Game of the Week.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
And welcome back into Ashe County High School for tonight's Friday Night Football varsity matchup on Sky Zone HD Channel 1 between the Ashe County Huskies and visiting Reynolds Demons. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham as we see quickly here Mason McNeil making some moves and getting it all the way down there to about the 36-yard line of the Demons. So Ashe County finally getting some nice things going here on offense and moving the ball well.
And nice quick toss there by Bowers, and McNeil does the rest.
No scoring in that first quarter. A little surprising there to see zeros on the board. Thought this might be a little higher scoring affair, especially for Ashe County Huskies, the way they put up points.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Reynolds has been able to score some points this year, just haven't been able to stop anybody.
Going to the ground game this time with Sullivan and getting down there about the 31-yard line, right at first down yardage. And that will be enough to move the chains. Oh, as we see a penalty, there against the Huskies. Didn't see that one thrown. So that's going to back them up. We talk about the points for the Huskies have come rampant fashion so far this season. As we look at the schedule for Reynolds, things not been quite as their schedule's not been quite as forgiving to them.
Oh, definitely not. East Forsyth, one of the better teams in the state. And it does not get any easier with that run, especially late against West Forsyth, Mount Tabor, and North Davidson.
Yeah, only 20 points so far on the season for Reynolds through 2 games. And we've seen the Huskies put up 50 and 16. And 2-0, really opposite tails of the tape there for these two squads. It's going to drop the Huskies back now, 2nd down and 9, setting up a nice screen play on the outside. Ellis trying to cut it back to the middle, still on his feet, falls ahead. And not a bad gainer that time on the screen to the outside.
That pass got all those penalty yards back, will make it a very manageable 3rd down.
And you said it there, 3rd down and a manageable 4 yards to pick up the first for the Huskies. Bowers joined by Sullivan, 4 men wide. Sticking with this air raid game plan that we've seen all season long. That's going across the middle, pass is caught. And a great job catching that one in traffic. Mason McNeil, he's definitely been missed by Connor Bowers. And he's going to him early and often in this matchup.
And another flag once again.
Thrown back behind the line of scrimmage. A lot of penalty markers early on in this game.
Both teams playing sloppy so far.
So that's going to be against the Huskies. Negate the nice pickup there. As that'll back them up now, 3rd down and 9. Lots of activity going on here at Ashe County High School. Big time crowd here tonight as we get a timeout. This time from the Ashe County Huskies. And as we look ahead again to the upcoming Ashe County Huskies schedule, Nate, obviously High Brighton's one you got to watch. What other matchups are you especially looking forward to for this Husky football season?
Well, right now, definitely that Allegheny game. Both teams undefeated, and looks like that game's going to come at a good time for us right off of our bye week. And anytime you play Wilkes Central, you can just throw those record books out the window. Both teams really like to get after each other. That comes after Allegheny. And to end the season, a couple tough road games, one at Stormont, one at Elkin. And hopefully one of those games will really mean a lot to us as we can wrap up a conference championship.
I know we talked about it before the season started. You believe that conference title could once again come down to that Halloween night matchup on the road at Starmount?
It very well may. Both teams looking pretty sharp so far. Starmount's faced a lot of tougher competition so far, and they've still looked pretty good considering, but the Huskies, nothing to be ashamed of there. Watauga, tough team, North Surrey and Reynolds, lots of good athletes.
Now quickly back to the action. Bowers off play action, trying to find some room. Throws on the run. Pass is caught. Blevins breaks through one tackle, but quickly closing in and bringing him down there. We see number 28, Brandon Duckett, making a nice tackle, but Jacob Blevins hanging on, picking up some nice yardage on third down and long.
Looks like it's going to be 4th and short. Would be surprised if the Huskies did not go for it right here. Looks like Bowers staying on the field on 4th and 3.
So going for it on 4th down now, as you said, 4th down and 3. We saw the Huskies score a touchdown in the same sort of situation, 4th and short against Watauga last week on their opening drive. We'll see if they can be successful here. May not get it in the end zone, but just trying to pick up the first down yardage. Bowers dropping back quickly, and just behind Mason McNeil. Would have been a tough catch, but still had a chance at catching that one.
Bowers had plenty of time right there. Looks like he just rushed the throw just a little bit. McNeil could not adjust to it being behind him. Turnover on downs there. Demons will take over in their own territory.
So the Huskies started to put together a decent drive that time, but this one will fall short of the end zone or even scoring range, as we'll see Reynolds come back on and see if they can get some points on the board. Still no scoring action thus far in the game as we started the second quarter. Lang under center, joined by 3 men in the backfield. Option hands it off this time, and great job there standing it up, led by number 44, Josh Hamilton, and that's a guy whose name we've called a lot this season as well on the defensive side.
Absolutely, really showing up well at the linebacker spot. Huskies really needed some help in the linebacker core this year, and right there, good tackle on Rashad Watkins.
Call it a loss of 2. So Huskies were able to stop him for a loss, bring up 2nd down and 12. Husky defense can gain some momentum after a couple of nice stops this game, coming up with an early turnover. Oh man, handoff up the middle again to Watkins, and unloading the boom there is one of the Baker brothers.
Another big play by the defensive line, and of course Tristan Jones in there as well to help finish the play.
Sean Baker and Tristan Jones once again teaming up. We'll call that one a gain of 2. They'll just get them back to the original line of scrimmage, so 3rd down and long situation will be 3rd down and right at 10 yards. Their own 36-yard line came the Demons, wearing the road white jerseys, Huskies in the purple and silver. Play action this time. Lang going through the air, has his man wide open. Catch is made, and turning it up the field. Will be forced out of bounds, however, but a very nice catch on the outside that time. That's number 6, Marvin Lee, making some noise in this game early.
And big play there through the passing game. You knew the Demons had some sort of passing play lined up. Been running it at the Huskies all night so far, but their big gain right there takes it down close to the 35-yard line.
As you said, a big-time gainer through the air, 1st and 10, moving it into the other side of the field in Husky territory. Reynolds piecing together a nice drive here early in this second period. This time, handoff straight up the gut, churning it upfield, still on his feet. And a good strong run there on 1st down. Again, that time was Rashawn Watkins.
Powerful run there by the fullback, picks up 8 yards.
Up 2nd down and 2. And if you're RJ Reynolds, you'll take that every time. 8-yard gainer on the ground. So we'll call it about 2nd down and 3, rather. And off again. And this time he keeps it, and they should have gotten rid of that one. Brandon Blevins rocking Lang in the backfield.
Lang read the defense wrong right there. To me, it looked like the fullback had a nice hole. The defense crashed a little bit there to their left, and unfortunately for Lang, he decided to keep that ball, and he will lose a couple yards.
Loss of a little over a yard, makes it 3rd down and 4. It's another big 3rd down situation. Reynolds been fairly successful so far tonight on these 3rd and short opportunities. This time they'll hand it off to Watkins, working it across the middle, trying to get some room to the right side. Not much doing there as he's gang tackled. And on that we see Baker and Blevins. Also number 36, Alex Richardson. And Hunter Scott as well getting in on the action. So that's going to be right at the marker, and I believe they're going to call for a measurement. The officials motion on the chain gang. So big-time situation here, Nate. Obviously, you'd think they'd go for it on 4th down, but Ashe is hoping they can try to make them convert on a 4th and short situation, definitely.
They're hoping to get a stop here, but Reynolds doing what they've been doing all night, running the ball really strong, and the Huskies keeping them from getting that big running play, but even a few yards here and there, as you see the Demons get the 1st down. All the talk about 4th down won't matter at all.
So they get it by a nose. Move those chains once again as the Demons drive stays alive. Now down to the Husky 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
First and 10 now from the 26.
See if they choose to keep it on the ground. We've seen them mix in a few pass plays on this drive as well. Big-time gainer through the air. Lang under center. Harrison in motion. This time he'll hand it up the gut. And then we see the big man Watkins on the carry. And not a bad gain that time on 1st down.
Another powerful run from the fullback. He listed at 220 pounds. He may be a few more than that. Had a few biscuits for dinner.
That's right. 5-yard gain, and that's so valuable to have, a valuable asset, being able to mix it up with the power game a little bit out of the backfield, as we've seen the quickness. But Watkins definitely just likes to ground and pound.
Absolutely, and they did not use him that I saw in the 1st quarter. So a good guy to pull off your bench here and get some tackles. And once again gets another carry and just keeps pushing his way down to the Husky 15-yard line.
Yeah, the big man, the way he's running, kind of reminds you of the fridge, just taking up the gut.
Absolutely.
And that's going to move the chains once again. Referee's motion a 1st down, so Reynolds picking them up and putting them down here in this drive. 2nd quarter looking to draw first blood. Still nothing. Ashe defense got to try to come up with something. Reynolds, these long drives can really wear out that defense.
They can, and that's what Reynolds is trying to do. Obviously, some tough seasons the last couple years, and they're probably hoping they can find an offense like this where they can keep the clock running and still pick up yards.
Watkins again finding some room. He's looking end zone inside the 5. Will be stood up short, however, but not before he takes it down to about the 2-3 yard line. Just refusing to go down. Relentless ability there by Watkins trying to get to that end zone. Will be stood up, however, at the 2, they'll call it. 1st and goal. So the Huskies with their backs against the wall now. This defense looking a little gassed out there. This nice drive being put up by the Demons.
Demons just able to run the football at will against the Huskies front 7 and front 8.
And this time Lang keeps it. And, man, he was hit hard. The Husky defense was not fooled. Leading the way there, it looked like it was number 52, Sean Baker.
Jason Baker in there on the tackle as well.
So, no gain, they'll call it. Maybe just a slight loss. Be 2nd down and goal. Again, tonight's game brought to you by Miller Insurance, proud sponsor of Husky football. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham. A great night here for Friday Night Football in West Jefferson. 2nd down and goal for Reynolds, looking to draw first blood in this ball game. Lang keeps it, tries to turn away after he was stood up at the line, and he's not going to get away from that big man. Jason Baker wrapping him up.
Jason Baker and Bradley Lucas right in there to make the stop. That's twice now Lang has decided to try to do it himself, and just has not worked out for him. Kind of surprised they went away from their big fullback right here, considering he pretty much carried them this whole drive.
And it's going to mark it back to the 5-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and goal. 5 yards to get that touchdown. We'll see what Reynolds chooses to do on this play. See if they go back to the big fullback. And there's a toss sweep to the left, trying to find some room on the outside. Shakes off one defender, gets near the end zone and in, but flags did fly before he crossed the goal line. We'll see who this penalty's on. We've already seen Reynolds have 1 touchdown called back. Could this be another?
And based on a couple of reactions there from their linemen, it will be another touchdown taken off the board thanks to that little yellow hanky thrown by an official.
So Patrick Harrison able to shake and bake his way into the end zone. That's going to be a holding penalty against Reynolds. So unfortunately for him and these Demons, as you said it there, another 6 points taken away via the penalty. And that's going to back them up all the way now to the Husky, I should say, 16-yard line. So you start out there first and goal from the 2, and now you're looking at third and goal from the 16.
The Reynolds team has to wonder, you know, how they're cursed right now. They've had 2 touchdowns taken off the board, fumbled inside the Husky 10-yard line, and missed a field goal. That's some serious points right there that they've left on the field.
Third and goal situation. Lang going to roll out to the near side. Now he's going to tuck it and run it himself. Gets across the 15, but only down about the 14, 13-yard line. Nothing doing there, and great job closing in by that Husky defense, containing the outside.
Good job by the secondary there as well, making sure Lang had no one to throw the ball to. We'll see if they go for another field goal attempt here or if they go for it on 4th down.
And looks like they're going to bring on the kicking unit. Said their number 30, Rand Fisher, is going to look to correct his first mistake. It was a line drive kick last time, really no shot at going through the uprights. So on 4th and goal from the 14, he's going to line up and kick this one. And this one is up, looks much better, and splits the uprights, so about a 31-yard field goal, and he nails it. Reynolds strikes first in this ball game, surprisingly, although it is just a field goal. 3-0 right now, as we saw them really milk that clock and put together a nice 14-play drive.
It was a nice methodical drive there, short runs, mix in a couple of big pass plays here and there, but for the most part, a lot of handoffs to the fullback, a couple of quarterback keepers, and using the outside edge to their advantage as well.
So right now, Reynolds not looking the part of the underdog at all in this ball game. And Ashe County's a bit of a hole here. Lucky that they're only down by 3 points with the way they've allowed the Demons to move the ball, though, offensively.
And both defenses have to be proud of what they've accomplished so far, even with Reynolds having some advantage in field position. The Husky defense has stood strong, and same for the Demons. Really have kept the Ashe passing attack pretty quiet so far.
So after his field goal kick, Rand Fisher on to boot this one away on the kickoff. Huskies back, lined up deep to return this, to improve on their fortunes so far in this game offensively, as every drive is stalled thus far for this Ashe County offense. The line drive kick will be fielded at the 3-yard line, quickly working his way up the field. Ellis finding some room down the seam and all the way out near the 40-yard line. We also see more penalty markers, though, being thrown. So more laundry on the field, and if this is going against the Huskies, Coach Hampton can't be happy about this. It's a little bit of a low block that time from the Huskies. And that's going to back them up. Man, they had great field position there. Maybe finally get some momentum going your way, only to have it called back, much as the Demons have experienced this year from Reynolds on this game.
Unfortunately, big play there for the Huskies. Could have had the ball near midfield, but instead they're going to have it inside their own 20.
So Ashe can be looking to turn it around. They'll have a long ways to go from their own 18-yard line to start this drive. Bowers dropping back, looking deep, picking up those yardage quickly. And great job not only making the catch, but hanging on through the contact with Jacob Blevins.
And big hit. Kime Parker there lays the lumber, but Blevins holds on.
So a nice pickup there on first down. Moves the chains early there for the Huskies, and they're just 5 yards away from where they would have originally started before the penalty marker from their own 35-yard line, as Bowers gets in the signals from the Ashe sidelines. Looking to move quickly. Time winding down in this second period. And Bowers a bit of trouble now, throwing as he's hit, and just able to get that one off and avoid the sack. and they'll say it was intended for Mason McNeil, but he was just mainly looking to throw it there to his Husky sideline.
That's one of the first times tonight the Demon defense has really gotten in there with some quarterback pressure. Made Bowers uncomfortable, had to throw that one a lot earlier than he wanted to.
So after the incomplete pass, brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Huskies. And wouldn't really call it an anemic offense, but so far that they've looked, but no points on the board right now, and we're just not used to seeing that from this Husky team. This time, though, going deep down the field, and there's some more signs of life from this Ashe County offense. Mason McNeil catching it and moving into Reynolds territory.
Moves the ball down to the Demon 46-yard line, and McNeil got wide open over the middle of the field.
And Connor Bowers must have heard me up here, wanted to shut me up about calling this offense a little anemic to start this ball game, and there's some signs of life now as they're moving the ball down the field in convincing fashion already on this drive. Bowers again, shotgun snap. This time forced to throw on the run and dials it up and connects again. With Jacob Blevins cutting across the middle, he is brought down by number 4, Krishawn Harrison.
Blevins very close to the first down right there. Looks like it's just going to be just a little bit short.
And hold everything there, Nate. Looks like they're going to call for a measurement as they motion the chain gang onto the field once again. Let's say it's too close to call. And so it looks like the Huskies are going to have it as they stretch it out, and by about 3/4 of the football, it's going to be an Ashe County first down.
Huskies really getting that passing attack going, marching down the field, now inside the Demon 40-yard line.
Mark it down at the 36. Wind that clock again, 1st and 10 for the Huskies. Bowers this time hands it off. Sullivan finding some room, but closing quickly on him. There's the Reynolds defense in on the tackle there, making first contact. Number 9, that is Derek Horn. Pickup of about 4. 2nd down and 6. Time starting to become a little bit of a factor here in this first half. Down the field, pass is caught, and then some. Mason McNeil turning it on. Will be tripped up, but not before he gets all the way down about the 6-7 yard line.
And it looked like Lemuel Gaither there saves the touchdown.
Mark him at the 7-yard line. It will be 1st down and goal for the Huskies, and hey, this is what these Husky fans came to see tonight, this air raid attack.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can punch one in right here.
1st and goal. Sullivan looking to take it in himself, dodging guys right and left, and oh man, a big hit laid on him that time, and that was number 28. We've called his name a lot, Brandon Duckett laying down the law. And Ashe County will call a quick TO. Coach Hampton want to talk things over here, and Nate, if you're this Husky offense and looking at this situation here, it's going to be 2nd goal from about the 5. Do you choose to go to the air or keep it on the ground?
Well, I will go to the air. That's what they've been doing good at all year, but Sullivan's had a couple of powerful runs tonight. Hopefully the Huskies can just get it in the end zone either way and be able to capitalize on their first big drive of the day.
The Huskies are no stranger to scoring with time winding down, as we saw them at the end of that Watauga game put together a nice 5-play, 44-yard drive very quickly with just 1:36 on the clock, setting up that Kendall Richardson game-winning 37-yard field goal.
The Huskies have proven they can kick the ball and they can move the ball when needed and as quick as they need as well. They can slow it down or they can really push the pace and keep the defense on its heels.
So after the timeout, 2nd and goal. From the 5-yard line, this Ashe County offense trailing 3-0 late in the 2nd period. Looking to go to the air to the far corner, I should say, on an out route that time. Unable to hook up with Mason McNeil, just a bit overthrown, but nice defensive pressure as well.
And good coverage there by Keon Greer right there in McNeil's pocket.
So now a 3rd down situation. 3rd and goal from the 5 for this Ashe County offense, looking to punch it in. They've put together a very nice drive so far. Bowers looked good on this drive. Now going to the near side of the corner, and did he get it before it hit the turf? He did. Touchdown, Ashe County Huskies. Jacob Blevins making a fine catch on the little out route.
Looked like 3 Reynolds defenders over there, but neither one of them really wanted to play any defense. Well, they were all kind of standing around. Blevins wide open and makes the touchdown grab.
So good hands being displayed there by Blevins. We see on replay being able to get his hands underneath that one and make a very nice catch. Now Richardson on for the extra point. Lucas mishandles it, and he's going to be brought down. No, gets rid of it and gets it up now. Can he hang? Oh, my goodness, Nate, and sort of a circus play that time, and it eventually was dropped by number 40, Caleb Sexton. The Huskies could have had an easy 2 points there.
Might have. They may have ruled one of those laterals there or a forward pass, though, but either way, at least they had the whereabouts there to try to get in the end zone after the bobbled snap.
So one of the crazier plays, as we see on replay, here, Bradley Lucas mishandled the hold on the snap and then pitched it back, I should say, to the kicker, Richardson, and then he tried to make a desperation throw to Caleb Sexton, just couldn't hang on to it. He said, though, may have been one of the forward laterals, but the Huskies before that put together a very nice drive, as we see on screen, took it down the field in convincing fashion. 81 yards they had to go in 9 plays, capped off by a 5-yard pass from Bowers to Blevins. Of course, the PAT, as you saw, no good, and Bowers, what a nice drive, as we mentioned a minute ago. Officially, they're 5 of 7, 76 yards and a touchdown.
Very accurate and very smooth running the offense on that drive, and hopefully that'll give the Huskies some momentum here, getting close to that halftime break.
Richardson on to boot this one away. So we heard the air raid sirens go off as the Huskies finally found pay dirt in this one. Short kickoff this time. It'll bounce and finally be handled about the 22-yard line, bringing it back up the field, finding some room across the middle, still going out near midfield, and finally brought down by the kicker. So Richardson making a potentially touchdown-saving tackle. The return man there, Kamai Parker, finding some open field and takes it all the way out to the 48-yard line. Under a minute to go now in the second quarter, but Reynolds, they're not going to back down easily and just say, hey, we're content to leave this a field goal game going into the half.
No, absolutely not, and good job by one of the Demon up men there. Did not make it to one of their usual returners, but as you said, Parker, great job returning the ball there right at midfield.
So we'll see if Reynolds can keep the momentum going after their field goal drive last time. Took it down the field in 14 plays. Capped off by a 31-yard field goal by number 30, Rand Fisher. And a quick pause here as Fisher's going to tell that center to get that chin strap fastened there. That is number 66, Zach Salwachter. And he's got things strapped up and ready to go now. 1st and 10. Their own 48-yard line, some right at midfield. Great starting field position. There's a handoff up the middle. Look at him go. The big man showing off some wheels. Number 2, Rashawn Watkins, showing off that not only can he just power it up the gut, he also has breakaway speed.
He did right there, pulled away from the Huskies there. Good tackle there in the secondary, but good first play for the Demons if they want to strike here before halftime.
So time's still a-ticking, but luckily for Reynolds, they do have 2 timeouts left. And scratch that 1 timeout left as they choose to take one here. Time winding down in this first half. Definitely don't want to have any miscommunications, and with that clock running after the first down was picked up. Wise move there by the head coach to take a TO and talk things over. Six to 3 where we stand. Just not too many ticks before we head to the locker rooms for halftime. Ashe able to put together a nice drive, as we saw just a moment ago, taking it down the field, 9 plays, 81 yards. Bowers really looking sharp there, 5 out of 7 for 76 yards and a TD. And he's looked good really all game. A few miscues, but really Ashe County has looked very good on offense, especially in that second period.
They have. Bowers has been accurate with most of his throws. No turnovers yet. Hopefully he keeps it that way, and the Huskies can build on that great scoring drive.
Back to the action now, 1st and 10 from the Husky 35-yard line, looking to air it out deep down the field, and the catch is made. Oh, my goodness, and a great catch, full extension there from High Neef Hall, showing off that height advantage he has, and the 6'5 wideout makes the Husky defenders pay.
As you said, using every bit of that 6'5 frame and out jumping Kenny Reed there for the jump ball. That'll give Reynolds 1st and goal at the 5.
So time winding down, but they're looking to finish this first half with a bang, making a big play there. Time ticking again now. 1st and goal on the 5. Lang hands it off this time, nothing doing. Rashawn Watkins wrapped up immediately, and on that we saw number 52, Sean Baker, also number 59, Kendall Richardson. And Reynolds will quickly take their 3rd and final timeout in the first half, looking to get maybe 1, potentially 2 more strikes to the end zone before they head to halftime. 6-3, Ashe County clinging to a 3-point lead after failing on their extra point attempt. The only team to get it into the end zone, one of the crazier PAT attempts you'll see.
Absolutely. Don't know if it would have counted or not, but we'll never know as that pass was dropped there. But nonetheless, Ashe takes a lead here late in the first half, and Reynolds trying to answer back.
Both coaches talk to their offense and defense and ready to go. 2nd down and goal. Just a few short seconds before they head to the locker rooms. Lang under center takes the snap. He's going to air it out, looking to the corner of the end zone, and overthrows this one. And they're going to say there is just a little bit of time left, 0.9 seconds to be exact. So one more play. Can Reynolds connect? Well, interesting to see here if they decide to go for a field goal and just tie this ball game.
Yeah, they might do that. They're bringing in the guy that held on the last kick attempt. And I believe the kicker is out there. They're going to be willing to take a 3-point shot here, hoping to tie the game before halftime.
And the lanky Robbie Casey on to do the holding here, listed at 6'6" on the roster. And we'll have Coach Hampton now deciding to make use of his 3rd and final timeout. And he's going to want to talk things over with his defense just to make sure everybody knows their responsibilities. And if you're Reynolds here, would you go for the end zone, or do you just settle for the field goal and hopefully get this from the short yardage situation satisfied going into the locker rooms tied at 6?
I would hate to leave points out here the way their defense is played. They've kept Ashe from scoring pretty much most of the game. Ashe put 1 scoring drive together. If I were the coach at Reynolds, I would be willing to settle for 3 points here. Your kicker's shown a pretty strong leg. A 6-6 tie going to the half doesn't sound all bad, but as close as you are, it's really tempting to go for that touchdown, especially when you have a powerful rushing attack and a mobile quarterback and a 6'5 receiver to throw to.
And a little bit it has the feeling of the Ashe-Watauga game last week where we saw Ashe strike first, although it was a touchdown, and then right before the half, Watauga comes storming back and ends up tying the ball game. And this has the feel of that, one team really controlling and holding the lead most of the half and potentially just going into the locker rooms tied. And nope, they're going to end up going for it, and they don't kick it. And does he get rid of it? Throws it to the end zone, and they're going to say he was out of bounds. We see the return man there after intercepting the pass, Kenny Reed, but the referees blew this one dead almost immediately. So a bit of trickery being thrown as we saw Robbie Casey looking to the end zone.
Interesting play right there. Looked like they had the old swinging gate routine set up over there, but they snapped it right to the holder. They were trying to draw something up there, but the execution did not quite work out.
As you said, they're not the best of executions by Reynolds, and they'll settle for being down by a field goal score at the halftime, 6-3. Ashe County on top, and an exciting first half. What are you expecting to see from both teams as we go to the locker rooms?
It'll be interesting to see if either offense can really set the tone early on or if it will remain a low-scoring defensive battle. Reynolds has had a strong rushing attack all night long. The Huskies finally got something going in the passing game. Will be interesting to see who comes out sharpest in the second half.
That'll do it here for first half action between RJ Reynolds Demons and the Ashe County Huskies on Friday Night Football. Stay tuned in. Should be a thrilling second half from Ashe County High School here tonight. You're watching Sky Zone HD Game of the Week. We'll be back with second half action right after this.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center of the field for the next halftime entertainment featuring the 2014 Husky Vanguard Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Director Zach Fulbright. Tonight the band will be performing Batman and Spider-Man, two numbers from this year's field show entitled Comic Book Heroes. The field is under the command of Drum Major Elijah DeYoung. The color guard captain is Cassie Lyles. Percussion captain is Emily McDonald. Bass drum captain is Raven Popper. And pit captain is Dakota Little. Woodwind captains are Gabby Hernandez, Mariah Martin, and Jacob O'Neill. Brass captains are Luke Roden, Jordan Reedy, and Corey Ward. Drum major is the band ready. Please welcome the Husky Vanguard Marching Band.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
And welcome back into Ashe County High School, the site for tonight's Friday night football matchup between the host Ashe County Huskies and the visiting RJ Reynolds Demons. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham here to bring you the action. Well, Nate, teams went to the locker rooms, talked things over, and we'll see what the fortunes hold here in the second half of this exciting matchup. Right now, 6-3, Ashe County clinging to a 3-point advantage as we start the second half.
Yeah, both coaches have plenty to be happy about. Of course, you know, it wasn't a perfect half for either side, but defense played well for both teams. The Demons did exactly what they wanted to do, running the ball, kind of stretching that clock out a little bit. And the Huskies, their last offensive drive was a good one, and we'll see what the Demons do here with the ball to open the third quarter.
It's another short kick, but hold everything, as I believe we're going to have offsides against Ashe County. And that was the story of much of the first half. Plenty of yellow flags to be found on the field, and that's the way we're going to start up this second half, as they will line it up again and re-kick, as the Huskies will be starting off the second half on defense. Reynolds did win the opening coin toss to the ball game and deferred to the second half. So that may be another factor, the reason that the Demons wanted to go for the touchdown there on the trick play in that first half, knowing that they will have the ball coming out of the locker rooms.
And I'm sure the coach thought about that as well, as you pointed out. Not near as tough a situation if you're getting the ball to start the third quarter.
So now backing them up, kicking from their own 35. We'll see if Richardson just chooses to boot this one deep this time. No, it's a short kick. Bounces and fielded right at the sidelines, and now trying to cut back across the middle. Reversing fields now, finding some room, and a pretty nice return that time from Kamai Parker.
Parker again takes it as an up man there and returns it up to the 35.
Some more east and west movement there than actually moving the ball down the field. But he will start it out, or move it out to the 35-yard line, and that's where we'll see Reynolds take over to begin this second half. First down and 10, trailing 6-3 to the Ashe County Huskies. Tyler Ashe once again alongside Nathan Ham, bringing you Friday night football on Sky Zone Sports on Sky Zone HD Channel 1, brought to you as always by Miller Insurance, proud sponsor of Ashe County football. Glad to have them back on board again this season. The handoff there goes to the big man, I believe that time once again, number 2, Rashawn Watkins, but he finds little room there on that play.
Husky defense, good job of stuff in the middle there. Watkins, pretty much every carry he's had has been right up the gut, and the Husky defense saw that one coming.
So no gain on the play as the running attempt is snuffed out quickly. Second down and 10 from the 35-yard line of the Demons. Not a lot of scoring action there in the first half. Both teams will be looking to correct that. Of course, they've got to give a big credit to both the squad's defenses. And this time on the option, Lang keeps it himself, and man, he is decked. Tristan Jones and number 77, big Jason Baker, unloading on him.
And two guys we've called their names quite a bit tonight already. And as you expect, both those guys being key hitters on this defense.
I tell you, coming into the season, that was maybe one thing you'd have or be able to question the most about this Husky team was their defensive ability, but they've really battened down the hatches, so to speak, last week against Watauga and so far here tonight. Third down and 8 situation. Lang going to drop back and air this one out, going deep down the near sideline. Jump ball, and a great catch is made, that time by number 15, Patrick Harrison, the 6'4 senior tight end, making a nice grab there using his full abilities, and it's nice when you have that height advantage as well, as we see on replay. A great catch there on the near sideline.
And it looked like the Ashe defense lost him a little bit there. Came out of the backfield, was wide open, and Lang found him with a beautiful throw.
So that's a move that will be enough to move the chains and move it into Husky territory. First and 10 on the Ashe County side of the field now at the 47-yard line. Lang under center. He'll hand it off this time to Rashawn Watkins. Look at him, the big man, still on his feet, fighting tacklers left and right. And then, boy, about every time he gets that ball, it takes more than one Husky defender to bring him down.
It does. Looks like 4 Husky defenders in there. Maybe Hunter Barnes there at the end to finish that tackle. But either way, Watkins once again powering this Demon offense down the field.
Called a gain of 9 on the first down carry by the Fridge, we'll call him. Second down and 1.
The mini Fridge.
That's right. Short yardage situation. This would be a time you might see a team try to air it out, catch that defense off guard. These second short situations, we'll see what Lang and this offense decide to do. Gets the snap from under center, runs into his own man, hands it off. Ball is loose. Who comes up with it at the bottom of that dog pile? The Huskies motion, they have it, and yes, they do. So another big turnover, and the Huskies come away with it. And I'll tell you what, they have a nose for those loose balls.
And that play looked disastrous there from the beginning. Looked like Lang and Watkins a little bit confused there in the backfield.
Yeah, I'm not sure Watkins was ready for the football in that instance after running into his quarterback and some miscommunication on the handoff. But either way, that's going to result in a fumble and another +1 for the Huskies in the plus-minus category.
Absolutely, and again, as you said, the Huskies have yet to turn the ball over tonight, and that's the second one for the Demons.
Quickly going to the air. Bowers gets his man on the run. McNeil and be forced near that sideline and tripped up, but not before he takes it for a first down and moves into Reynolds territory very quickly to start off this Ashe County drive.
Looks like a pair of number 4s matched up against each other with McNeil and Hairston, and McNeil gets the better of him right there down to the Demon 48.
So McNeil showing no side effects from the concussion that held him out last week against Watauga, looking very good here tonight. Bowers quickly working again, shotgun snap, steps up strong, makes a great throw downfield. Wide open is Jacob Worley, and he'll turn it up the field and gets it all the way down about the 21-yard line. The Huskies quickly threatening on this drive to open up the second half.
The Reynolds defense completely lost Worley on that play. Obviously, you got McNeil and Blevins out there, probably your 2 best receivers, but nonetheless, Worley wide open, takes it down near the red zone.
I'll tell you, that's really a luxury that Coach Hampton and this Husky offense possess, having so many wide receivers with big play ability, as we see it again right there. First and 10, shotgun snap, just dumping it off to Sullivan, who dodges one man, shaking him off left and right like a bad habit, and he'll move it down inside the 10, and they'll bring up a first and goal situation for the Ashe County Huskies.
And Ashe coming out of the halftime break, very strong on offense. Coach Hampton must have really lit a fire under them at halftime. This is exactly how he likes to see this team move the football.
As you said, working quickly. First and goal situation from the 9-yard line. And the Huskies showing that they can piece together a nice drive here, and time winding down. Some miscommunication there between Bowers and the Husky sideline, and he's going to burn their first timeout of the second half. So Ashe County looking to pick up where they left off the last time they had the ball in the first half, which ended in a touchdown scoring drive. So they were able to move the ball nicely downfield. Six to 3 our score here from Ashe County High School for tonight's Friday night football matchup on Sky Zone Sports. Yet again, Tyler Rash alongside Nathan Ham. And the Huskies, Nate, really starting to get things going here. The mojo flowing, I should say, here in this second half. And after that first scoring drive they had late in the first half, looking strong here on offense yet again, as we're accustomed to seeing them this season.
Absolutely. Looks like they have woken up a little bit here in the second half. And the Demon defense trying to get a stop here. We'll see if the Huskies can punch this one in.
So first and goal from the 9 after the Ashe County timeout. Bowers in the gun, going 4 wide as they like to do, throwing across the middle, and great job finding his man, extending out there, Jacob Blevins. And another touchdown, put up 6 more for this Ashe County team.
And great catch indeed. Lemuel Gaither in there on the coverage. He was right there in his pocket, but nonetheless, Blevins pulls down the touchdown, and Ashe takes a 2-possession lead.
So the Husky offense finally coming alive, and they're going to line up for the extra point attempt. And we have a new holder this time, Mason McNeil. And the kick is up from Richardson and splits the uprights. It is good. So the Huskies moving ahead there by 10 points now, 13-3. And they pieced together a very nice drive that time. Working quickly there, just takes them 4 plays to go 65 yards. And a 9-yard hookup there as we saw capping off that one. Bowers pass to Jacob Levins cutting across the middle. Full extension there as we saw on the replay, making a great catch. And Bowers a perfect 4 for 4 that drive and accounted for all of the Husky offense.
And another drive, once again, Bowers incredibly accurate, only missed 2 throws on the last drive. This drive, perfect 4 for 4 with the touchdown pass. Huskies take a 13-3 lead.
And coming into the game, we saw there a little over 61 completion percentage for the senior signal caller for Ashe County, and he's certainly improving on that now as he's been near perfect, as you mentioned there, these last 2 drives for Ashe County.
Yeah, as the Reynolds defense really hasn't had an answer for him here lately, and that's probably due to some adjustments from Hampton and the passing offense.
And a squib kick here. They don't want these return men to get it, but it will roll back. And we'll see there, number 15, Patrick Harrison, finding some room on that far sideline. And, boy, a nice return there. And that's a good reason why the Huskies don't want him to get the ball, but he ultimately does there and gets it out near midfield.
And Harrison had already showed earlier, very shifty runner in the offense and just as quick there on kick returns.
But Hold Everything do have a late flag thrown. And this is something that we've seen a lot of tonight from both squads. And that is going to go against Reynolds, so negate that big-time return. We'll see where that penalty occurred. So instead of having it out at the 48-yard line and great field position, this is going to mark them back. Looks like the ball is going to be spotted at the 35-yard line, so all in all, still a not bad place to start this drive, I should say, for Reynolds.
No, not bad at all. Definitely still a hit, though, considering they ran the ball back near midfield. And the way this offense has been running lately, they haven't been able to cap off the drive with touchdowns. So the more yards they have to go, probably the worse it is for them.
And a handoff again, Rashawn Watkins bounces off one man, but can't get away from Brandon Blevins, the senior defensive lineman, bringing him down with authority in the backfield. That's going to drop him for a slight loss.
Blevins has been very active tonight, maybe the most active I've seen him all year. Been all over the field making key tackles.
So loss of 1, they'll spot it. 2nd down and 11. This Husky defense really coming to play here tonight. Giving up some big yardage there in the first half, but limiting Reynolds to only 3 points, which is the ultimate deciding factor. And also in this game, they forced a couple of turnovers. Laying under center with man in motion, and he'll come this way, cutting it back up the field, getting some nice blocks downfield before he is hit hard out of bounds. That was number 6, Marvin Lee, making some noise.
Lee once again taking it to the outside. Both of these feature backs getting through the Husky defense on the outside very well.
So a nice 6-yard pickup, but still going to have them in 3rd and medium length territory after that loss of 1 on 1st down, so make it 3rd down and 5. For the RJ Reynolds Demons. 3rd and 5, as we said there. Huskies looking to make a big play on defense and stop this drive early. Laying under center. Takes the snap, hands it off to Watkins, and he is met immediately. Nothing doing, stood up by pretty much the Husky defensive line.
Jason Baker in there, as well as Tristan Jones, and I believe number 69 there, Jacob Sawyer as well.
So a strong showing on that drive from this Husky defense, and it looks like Reynolds going to bring on the punting unit. And the Huskies will line up to return this one. Ashe County starting off this second half, I believe, as many anticipated they would the first half, but that was not the case. But they have picked it up here late in this ball game, and as you see there on the scoreboard, 13-3 now, and Ashe looking for more as they look to try to get some good field position on a nice return. Long snap, flag is thrown, It's a good kick, though. Bounces all the way down and takes a kind roll for Reynolds inside the 20-yard line down to the 19, but we'll see what happened there in the backfield. Looks like that will be against Reynolds. And the referee's motioning for them to bring it back, and indeed that will be the case. Illegal motion against Reynolds, illegal shift, I should say, and that's going to back them up. And we'll see them have to punt it again, this time from 5 yards further back. And if you're Coach Hampton, you love to see that because you're probably not going to get that good of a punt again.
I was getting ready to say Coach Hampton has to be really pleased with that penalty. Great punt, but the way that we've had success blocking punts, don't think he's not going to be sending the forces right here.
And indeed he does. They nearly get back there to him. Still gets off a very nice punt. This time will be fair caught at the 31-yard line by senior wideout Jacob Blevins. So the Husky offense rolls back onto the field and looking to keep things rolling in this second half, up 13-3, and looking for more. Had a very nice drive offensively to start off this half, worked quickly. Just took them 4 plays to move it 65 yards as we see the drive summary once again from last time these guys had the ball, and Connor Bowers near perfection all night long, and on that drive he was a perfect 4 for 4 for all 65 yards for the Huskies, and we'll have a stoppage here. Referees doing some communicating there. Looks like we're going to have a flag thrown. It's going to be against Reynolds.
Looks like one of the Demon players must have lined up there in the neutral zone.
So it gives the Huskies a few more yards. First down and 5 now to start this drive. Bowers drops back, slips, and credit that field with a sack. As Bowers slips to the ground, and that's going to move it all the way back past the original line of scrimmage. That'll be second down and 11 from the Ashe County 31-yard line. Ashe going with this 4-wide shotgun set. Bowers joined by Sullivan in the backfield, and play action, throwing across the middle, has his man, but nice defense that time. Mason McNeil unable to hang on to it, but a good job there closing in, number 32, Keon Greer.
And good coverage, as you said, right there. Nice play fake, though. It worked well, but coverage did not bite on it all the way, and McNeil just couldn't reel that one in.
So now third down and long, 11 yards to go to pick up the first for the Huskies in their own 31-yard line, leading 13-3 here in this third period. So we have another stoppage from the officials, and that's going to be another penalty. They're going to call it against RJ Reynolds in the 5-yard variety. Not sure exactly what the signal was there. Maybe another player lined up in the neutral zone as we saw just a moment ago. Nonetheless, that'll make it a much more manageable third down and 6 for the Ashe County offense. Bowers throwing quickly on the far side, has his man. Did he hang on to it? No. Or yes, they are going to say it was a catch. Jacob Blevins able to reel that one in, and they're going to say he maintained possession long enough to pick up the first down, so move those chains for Ashe County yet again.
Great pocket presence there by Bowers. He was getting blitzed right up the middle, right in his face, but found Blevins on the sideline. He makes a terrific catch.
And moving it out there to the 46-yard line. Handoff now to Sullivan. Gets hit almost at the line of scrimmage, but still able to fall forward. And all things considered, they're not bad. Able to pick up about a yard or 2 on the first down play. Second down and about 8 yards to go for Ashe County. Starting to get in a groove offensively. Working quickly now. Bowers getting in the call from the sideline. Ashe likes this no-huddle offense. Fast pace, trying to spread that defense out. It's worked well for him all season long. Now setting up a screen play across the middle, and a nice snag there by Sky Sullivan. Takes it out there near the first down marker. Good job there tripping him up by number 4, Krishan Hairston. Could have been a lot more than that.
As you said, that was well designed on the screen, but it looked like Sullivan Might have been a little slow catching the ball there and turning it upfield, but good tackle there by the Demons to prevent that from getting many more yards.
And looks like we're going to have yet another measurement. No, referee has seen it there. He thinks it's far enough, and that will be enough to move the chains for Ashe County, give them yet another first down, as that moves it down to the 44-yard line, well into Demon territory. Bowers quickly back, set for the snap, and looks like we're going to have another flag thrown and offsides yet again. That's the third time we've seen this play called, or penalty called, by the referees. Maybe a bit of confusion there. It's like these Reynolds defenders not sure what they're doing wrong.
Yeah, I guess they're not really sure where they're lining up wrong at. And maybe they're bumping into a Husky player or something before the ball's put in play. I'm not really sure why they keep lining up offsides, but obviously it's something the referee does not like.
So another 5-yard gift. Makes it first down and 5 now, and nice defense that time, laying out and making a very athletic play. We see number 4, Krishawn Hairston, and that's one who we've called his name a lot here tonight on the defensive side of the ball, especially for Reynolds.
Hairston has been playing well, nearly came away with the interception right there. Connor just a little bit late on that throw, nearly cost him.
So it'll be second down and 5 after the incompletion. Bowers, shotgun snap. Oh, one man goes untouched and lays him out. He can't get it off quickly enough, and pass will fall short, intended for number 8, Jacob Worley. I'll tell you what, number 18 that time, John Pope, came with a full head of steam, and he went unchecked by that Husky offensive line.
He did. Senior linebacker right there, burst through, as you said, untouched, trying to put a hitting on Connor Bowers.
Good composure there and awareness by Bowers not to panic, gets the throw off, and didn't lose yardage that time, although he did take the hit. Still third down and a manageable 5. For Huskies to air it out. Another screen play set up, this time to the wideout, Worley, and he turns it upfield before he is tackled by number 4, Hairston, but not before he gains first down yardage and move the chains yet again for this Husky offense.
And as you said, Hairston again, sophomore cornerback, making some big plays for the Reynolds D.
So first down and 10, mark it at the 32-yard line of Reynolds. Ashe putting together a very nice drive. Once again, looking to keep pinning Reynolds further and further behind in this one. Another screen play to the outside. Sullivan shakes the defender off, though, takes it up the field. He's got room up the sideline, shrugs another one off, and he's dropping them left and right like a bad habit, and Sky Sullivan takes it in for an Ashe County Husky touchdown.
Sullivan showing some speed there on the sideline. We've seen him run over some guys before. Right there, the breakaway speed runs away from these Reynolds defenders. Ashe takes a 16-point lead.
We also see him give there the safety, number 34, Lemuel Gaither, gave him a bit of the cold shoulder on the replay and shrugged him off like he was nothing, and Ashe poured it on now, 19-3. A little miscommunication here on the extra point attempt, and Mason McNeil fires back, has to try to throw it off his back foot, and that will not get the job done. So another extra point attempt unsuccessful for Ashe County, but hey, they still have a full 2-score lead at 16 points, 19-3 as the Huskies put together a very nice drive that time, taking it 60 yards downfield in 9 plays. And, of course, capping it off there, 32-yard pass, Bowers to Sullivan, as we hear the air raid horn continue to sound here at Ashe County High School.
And most of that coming through the air once again. Connor very accurate on his throws. And once again, limiting tough throws and no turnovers so far. He's really built a lot from that North Surrey game where he threw 4 interceptions. Only 1 interception last week, and so far 0 tonight.
So that is the 3rd touchdown pass of the night for Connor Bowers, making his case for a player of the game here tonight, certainly.
Absolutely. That passing attack is something to be afraid of, no matter who you are.
And now just doing some quick tallying here on the season. He had 8 scores coming into the game, has now thrown 3 here tonight, so already 11 touchdown passes for the senior QB. And I'll tell you what, he's really putting up a very impressive season in the early going for this Ashe County Husky offense. And we said throw, and then throw some more was going to be the philosophy of this Husky team now on the offensive side, as we see them trying onside a kick. I'll get it right here eventually, and didn't look like they were able to come up with it, but a bit of trickiness there, and we saw this a lot from Ashe County last year.
Yeah, good try by the Huskies there. Looked like linebacker John Pope came up with that one. Reynolds does get some good field position out of that, but you know if the Huskies had recovered that, Reynolds was really going to be up against it trying to stop another Husky drive.
Yeah, and Pope showing that he's in the house, and we had a visit from a superhero there at halftime as we saw the amazing Spider-Man come out onto the field here during the halftime show.
He did. Batman as well, running through the crowd.
So you never know who may be flying in here at Ashe County High School. Quickly back to the offensive possession now by Reynolds. Trying to find some room to the outside off of the pitch was number 15, Patrick Harrison, but not much doing there as the Huskies had that outside containment and limited him to nothing and dropped him for a pretty big loss there on 1st and 10.
Harrison was using way too much sideways running there. Lost at least, can't tell if that's 3 or 4 yards, but looks like a pretty sizable loss there. Never really turned it upfield, and that puts the Demons in an early hole on this drive.
That's something you see fans and coaches alike get frustrated with when players do more of that east and west movement and don't turn it up the field. After the loss there, it's called a loss of 4. 2nd down and 14 play. Maybe some more miscommunication. Trouble with the handoff, delivering it cleanly. Rashawn Watkins does come up with it, but is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of another yard, so that'll bring up 3rd and 15. And Reynolds, all of a sudden, looking a little dysfunctional on offense.
That Ashe defense has really stopped the run well after the first couple of drives. And again, right there, as you said, a miscommunication. Last time they had that miscue, Watkins fumbled the ball. That time he held on to it, but 3rd and 15 here for a rushing offense. Don't be surprised if the Huskies really pin their ears back here and go for the quarterback.
So as you said, 3rd down and very long after a couple of bad plays. This time rolling out, we see Lang. He's going to take it himself across the 50, looking to find some room, but forced out of bounds. And, oh, man, took a bad tumble here. Hopefully he's okay as he fell into the bleacher seats down there. The bench, I should say, for the Huskies. Looks like he is okay. But that's going to be well short of a 1st down. But nonetheless, a nice job on the scramble there by Lang. He's able to pick up 7-8 yards, but still going to bring up a 4th down and 7 situation for the Demons.
Everybody clap your hands.
Working our way down here in the 2nd half, 3rd quarter of action. And a little surprised to see Reynolds not going for it here on 4th and 7. Ball near midfield into Husky territory, actually.
Yeah, their defense has played well tonight, but the last couple of drives, the Huskies have really shredded that defense. I am surprised they're punting here as well.
So a big kick downfield, takes a bounce and rolls for Reynolds all the way down just outside the 10-yard line. So great job on the punt there, and that'll pin the Huskies back 1st and 10, and they'll have to start from their own 11-yard line. And the Huskies looking to duplicate their previous 2 drives. They started out this 2nd half with 2 quick scores last time. Not as quick of a drive as we saw the first series. It only took them 4 plays. Last time 9 plays, moving at 60 yards, and of course a big 32-yard hookup between Bowers and running back Sullivan. And they call his number once again, shrugging off one man, but able to hang on and wrap him up. Ankle tackle made by number 58, Kelson Smith, showing a nice burst off of that defensive line, getting back there to him. But Sullivan picks up a pair. Make it about 2nd down and 8.
We'll see if Coach Hampton wants to run some clock here, if he wants to stick with their normal air raid offense, mixing in some runs here and there.
And we're going to have a timeout. Excuse me, that's going to be the end of the quarter. Look up there at the scoreboard, and Ashe County feeling pretty good right now. Nate up 19-3 after 3, and we'll be back here with more Friday night football action between Reynolds and Ashe County right after this here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
And welcome back into Ashe County High School for some more Friday night football action between the host Ashe County Huskies and the visiting Reynolds Demons. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham. Angus Lamond on the camera. Glad to bring you the action here tonight from Ashe County High School. And Nate, I tell you what, it's been an exciting contest so far. This Ashe County offense finally picking up steam in this second half and really pulling away there at the end of the third quarter. And they lead it as we start this fourth and final period, 19-3.
It has been a pretty exciting game. Both teams having their moments. Reynolds having a couple of touchdowns taken off the board with bad penalties. As for the Huskies, took them a little while to get things going, but really here in the second half, they've gotten things rolling, and the Demons really haven't had an answer so far, but we've got a whole quarter of play. Reynolds only down 2 possessions. We'll see what they can do here. First and foremost, fourth quarter getting ready to start. Connor Bowers out there deep in their own territory.
You said it there, 2nd down and 8 from their own 13-yard line. You are watching the Sky Zone HD Game of the Week brought to you by Miller Insurance. We see Bowers dancing away from trouble, finding Blevins wide open, and look at him turning up the Jets, cutting across the 30, bouncing off another defender, but finally wrapped up there, forced down by number 21, Shea Surratt. But I tell you what, not before he picks up a big-time gain there on 2nd down.
And how about a good block there by Mason McNeil, springs him for a few more yards. But right there, Blevins got wide open in open space. And as you know by his track results last season, he's one of the fastest athletes in the state. Right there, just got some open grass and took off.
So a new set of downs for this Ashe County offense. Here's the handoff to Sullivan, wrapped up immediately. Man, no room to work. Wayne Walker Jr. laying down the law in the backfield.
A big tackle there by Walker.
He's saying, welcome into Wayne's world with that hit, and not giving up an inch. Drops him for a loss of 1 on the play. And Sullivan's come up with some big plays, but here lately, a little bit tough to find some operating room out of that backfield. 2nd down and 11, going back to the air, and in and out of the hands. Juggled it a bit there. Mason McNeil just could not hang on, cutting across the field.
McNeil wide open there, beat his man Keon Greer there off the line. But as you said, the ball hit him in a bad place, hit him right in the hands.
So after that incompletion, Huskies will be facing a 3rd down and 11 situation now. Leading this one, though, comfortably right now by a full 2 scores, 19-3. Dropping back and airing it deep down the field. Has his man, but, some nice defense, though. And he's not able to hook up with his senior wideout, Jacob Worley.
Shea Surratt there knocks the ball away. Both guys up there in the air fighting for it. But right there, the Reynolds defense gets a big stop. Going to be 4th down here for the Huskies.
And Blevins will drop back to punt this one away for the Huskies. He's done a nice job tonight. It's this entire special teams unit for the Huskies. And they'll look to continue that one going. Some trouble on the snap, but gets it away. And not a bad kick. Takes a nice bounce, however, and will be fielded. But not much of a return there. Closing the gap quickly where the Huskies, I believe that was Kamai Parker on the return.
Good job by the Ashe special teams. Gets down there, limits the return there for the Demons.
So not bad starting position for Reynolds as they look to close the gap. Trailing this one 19-3 as we see this offensive unit come back onto the field. Start off on their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. As we see Lang try to get this offense going again. We saw them have a lot of success on the ground early in the ball game, but not much doing here in the second half thus far. But that could change very quickly with just a big play or two. And they'll hand it off. No, keeps it himself and dancing around the outside and pitches it. But Huskies able to contain that one, but still not a bad gainer on 1st down from Patrick Harrison.
The Huskies really adjusted their defense here as the game has went along. Those outside running lanes are few and far between now.
As you said early in that game when Patrick Harrison was getting those pitches to the outside, he was able to turn it up and pick up 10, 15 yards, that time just a gain of 4. So the Huskies have really clamped down on defense Make it 2nd down and 6. Lang under center. Hands it off this time to the big man. Watkins, not much doing there. He is wrapped up quickly after picking up about a yard, maybe 2. And even the ability to take it up the middle has been shut down by the Ashe County defense.
Coach Hampton and his defensive staff have really figured out something that they've liked that's worked against the Demons. And this second half really kept Reynolds from moving the ball hardly at all.
So they'll say it was 2 more to bring up the 3rd down and short 4 for the Demons. Just looking to keep this offensive drive going. Drops back, quickly gets it out here on the near side now, finding some room to work. And that's the first time we called his name, number 11. That'll be DeJounte Horn. Turning it up, and not a bad gainer there on 3rd and 4. And that's going to be enough to move the chains.
And another big receiver target there for the Demons. Measuring in at 6'2", junior there. Makes a nice little grab, gets a 1st down.
So a fresh set of downs now as they get near that Husky in the midfield. Still on their side of the field. 1st and 10. Hand off there up the middle. Watkins still on his feet. And finally takes a couple of defenders, bring him down. Hunter Barnes and Tristan Jones wrap him up, though, at the 48-yard line. Pick up about 4 on 1st down. As he rumbles ahead, bring up 2nd down and about 6. Just shy of the midfield at their own 49. Reynolds looking good right now. Again on the ground. And this time it will be carried across midfield. Watkins again on the carry.
Looks like Jacob Sawyer or Jason Baker in there on the tackle. A couple guys working real hard on the inside of that Husky D-line.
So another 3rd down and short. 3rd and 3 this time. Reynolds looking to keep things going on offense. And we have a whistle, though, before the snap. And no penalty. Referees needing to take an official pause there, brief pause for a moment. And quickly back now, 3rd and 3. Reynolds trailing here, 19-3. Handoff up the middle, really going nowhere. Maybe fought forward for a gain of a couple, but still going to be shy of 1st down yardage. But this is a situation where I think it's definitely 4-down territory no matter what for the RJ Reynolds Demons.
Yeah, it's got to be 4-down territory, especially here in the 4th quarter. Especially also when you run the ball as much as you are, the clock really doesn't stop that much. Reynolds definitely going to be going for it on pretty much every 4th down from here on out.
Make it 4th and 1. Lang under center, look for them to keep it on the ground, and they do. Rashawn Watkins pours it ahead there and picks up 1st down yardage, moving it down inside the Husky 45-yard line, down about the 43, and keeps this drive going.
Watkins has really been the workhorse back for the Demons tonight. Didn't get a carry there in the 1st quarter, but ever since then he has gotten his fair share of carries.
First and 10. Lang hands it off to him yet again, and fighting forward, not much doing that time, though. It's going to be wrapped up pretty quickly, gains about 2. Ben Brown there in on the action. Bring up 2nd down and 8. Reynolds fighting to stay alive here in this 4th period, trailing by a full 2 scores, 19-3 to the Ashe County Huskies. Still refusing to go away, throws it downfield, pass is caught, turning it around there and up the field, all the way down inside the 5, getting near that goal line. Trying to sniff out the end zone that time was Hyneve Hall, and haven't called his name much in this 2nd half, but he comes up with yet another big grab.
Yep, big play, as you said, by a big man. Measuring in at 6'5", big target there for Lang.
So now this really changes the complexion of this ball game. If Reynolds could punch it in here, and then a 2-point conversion could make it just a 1-score ball game late in this fourth period. So first and goal, marked at about the 2-yard line. Lang under center. There's the handoff. No, pitches it to the outside. Ball is loose. Who comes up with it? And looks like Reynolds will recover. Falling on it quickly there was Patrick Harrison. I'll tell you what, another big play there from that Ashe County defense.
And how many times has Reynolds just shot themselves in the foot? Once again, right there, a bad pitch on a first and goal play.
Instead of they were at first and goal, I should say, from the 2, now second and goal on the 10.5-yard line. Makes it much more difficult to try to get into that end zone. And pitches it again here, this time to the near side, trying to find some room, twisting around, now reversing fields yet again. We've seen this a lot tonight, now trying to find room up the middle, and still can't wrap him up, but there they finally do. The Huskies, great job there not letting him get loose. Bradley Lucas comes in and puts the decisive hit on him, but Ben Brown making the initial contact in that backfield. But look at this, now you're all the way back to your own 21.
Yeah,
Husky 21.
Not many times you get to say third and goal from the 21.
So again, just an unfortunate series of events unfolding right now after Reynolds was looking in prime position to score first and goal from the 2. And as you called it there, third down and goal from the 21 now. After another big-time loss, Lang going to drop back and fire this one deep down the field, going across the middle. Ball is bounced around, and it's intercepted. And turning it back up the field now, coming the other way, we see Zach Uten. And he is finally met, but not before he gets the interception and out to about the 17, 18-yard line. And another big-time play from this Husky defense.
Yeah, big play indeed. Looks like Louder was there with the tip, and Uten pulled it down out of the air to put a big end to a Reynolds drive. And we'll see if Ashe just wants to run some clock here, finish this game out.
Well, I tell you what, another big blow. Reynolds shooting themselves in the foot and forcing a throwing situation there. Definitely a pass play on third and goal from the 21, and Ashe County was back and ready for it, knowing that they had to get it into the end zone. And they did not give up the touchdown play, and coming away with the big interception. Now look at Sullivan breaking away. He's across the 30, 35, and finally forced out of bounds, but not before he picks up a first down and then some.
Shea Surratt runs him out of bounds, but right there you saw lots of guys in the Husky backfield getting ready to block there for Sullivan on that handoff, but we do have a flag down.
So another penalty marker down on the field, and looks like this one could go in the line of holding against Ashe County. And Coach Hampton, I don't think he's too happy with the explanation the referee gave him there on the sideline.
Not at all. Looks like they did call an illegal formation there on the Huskies. Just a 5-yard penalty, but either way, really negates a big run by Sullivan.
So that'll move it back now. Repeat first down, first and 15 from the 13-yard line of Ashe County. So we see plenty of protection along with Connor Bowers in the backfield, setting up a run play once again, going to that left side now. Not much operating room that time for Sullivan, maybe gains of a yard. Time certainly starting to become a factor now in this ball game. Reynolds, you got to think, that may have really taken a lot of wind out of their sails with that interception after they were in prime position to punch it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, it definitely did. They have to get a stop here, a quick stop that is, against the Huskies if they want any chance of getting this football back. But it may still be too late when you're down 16.
So Bowers, Sullivan on his left side, shotgun set, 4 wide, looking to air it out. Pass is tipped. And, boy, that's danger whenever that thing floats in the air like that. Mason McNeil can't come up with it, but Huskies more fortunate there that one wasn't intercepted.
It was tipped, and right there looked like Demon linebacker John Pope. Just a second late. If not, he would have been there for the interception.
So after the pass was batted down at the line of scrimmage, it'll bring up third down and 14 late in this fourth period. Huskies their own 14-yard line. Here's the screenplay set up for Sullivan. Cuts it back across the middle. Gains some nice yardage, though. Still not going to be enough for a first down, but just some more breathing room there. And Huskies trying to play a little better field position. And we have a timeout called by Reynolds. And Ashe County, I tell you what, Nate, looks to be in pretty good shape here to pick up their third victory of the season. It's not over yet, though. Still some time left on this clock, but with a full 2-score lead and the way you've been able to play defense, come up with some huge interceptions and fumble recoveries, you got to feel pretty good right now if you're Coach Brian Hampton and this Ashe County Husky team.
Yeah, just keep doing what you've been doing. You've been stopping the run a lot better this half, and Reynolds really hasn't shown a whole lot through the air. They have gotten a couple big plays when they've got some of their targets open, but for the most part, it's been an all-rushing attack, and the time just simply isn't there for the Demons to continue running the ball downfield. Husky defense, just keep doing what you've been doing, play well, and finish this one out and get the win.
So Jacob Blevins on to punt this one after the Reynolds timeout. Husky drive stalled quickly. Big part thanks to that illegal formation penalty that was called against them by the officials. So on 4th and 7, you'll see them punt this one away. Another stoppage there, getting some clarification from the officials. Yeah, I'm not sure there. One player forced to head to the sidelines.
Maybe an equipment issue. Don't know for sure there.
And we're ready to go now. Huskies lined up to punt this one away. And Blevins gets off a good punt. Bounces at the 45 and takes a roll, fielded. And boy, a questionable decision there with 3 Husky defenders right around you on special teams, but gutsy call, and ended up not being a bad one by number 28, Brandon Duckett, but still got to question that. He's lucky that one didn't bounce off of him and into the hands of a Husky player.
He was really fielded that there in traffic.
Nonetheless, it'll equate to great field position for the Demons, looking to get back into this game, really down by 16, 19-3 late in this fourth quarter. Time definitely an issue. So with your backs against the wall for the Huskies right now, that's certainly like the 12th man on the field for them. The big advantage is this time having a full 2-score lead. And we're ready to go, 1st and 10. From the 47-yard line, Lang dropping back, rolling out to the far sideline, nearly picked off, and man, he wishes he could have had that one back. A second chance there. Elijah Williams nearly coming up with the INT.
Williams getting some playing time late here in the game. Goes all out, makes a dive there for an interception. Couldn't come up with it, but still knocks the ball down. 2nd and 10 now for Reynolds.
Reynolds has had some big plays downfield via the passing game, but for the most part, that's really been shut down by this Husky defense.
It has, especially with some of their tall wide receivers out there. Ashe has done a very good job with their secondary and have really buckled down that run defense in the second half.
Lang this time going to roll out to the right, throw in on the run, has his man. One defender misses, trying to make a second. Will not. He will be wrapped up, but not before he takes it down near red zone territory again. Hanif Hall, another big catch. You see Ben Brown making another nice tackle for the Huskies, quickly going to this no-huddle offense. Reynolds trying to conserve time as they keep this drive moving. Inside the Husky 25-yard line, fumbles the snap, recovers nicely. Lang looks like he's going to keep it himself. No, he throws to the end zone and really too far ahead of 2 receivers. But I tell you what, if he had a little better touch on that, it may have been a touchdown.
It might have been. It looked like he was looking for Marvin Lee right there. Might have had to force the throw a little bit, panicked a little bit after fumbling the snap. Had a couple guys open, but the throw was just a little bit off target.
Ashe County catches a break with the off-target pass. But a good job there forcing the errant throw, that time by Lang. And it will be 2nd down and 10 from the Husky 24-yard line. Reynolds on offense. Can get back into this ball game now. There's another pass completion on the outside to Hall, and just cannot wrap the big man up. and he gets it all the way down to the 10-yard line, where it'll bring up a first down and goal situation here for Reynolds yet again.
Kenny Reed all over him there, but the Hall just simply too big to bring down on your own, and gets it down inside the 10 for the Demons.
Working quickly there from the 10-yard line, fumbles the snap and just has to sit on this one. And a good job there quickly closing in number 77, Jason Baker, along with number 51, Ross Summey.
Lang a little slow getting up there.
And we'll have another quick timeout called from the Reynolds sideline. Time really winding down now. Reynolds, really this is your last-ditch effort. Try to get a quick score here and then an onside kick, but still with a full two-score deficit, 16 points. It's also going to take two two-point conversions, and odds definitely stacked against them in this situation.
A lot to ask for from a team that's really struggled for most of this last couple seasons, actually. It's going to be a whole lot to ask for them to come up with 16 points here in the last couple of minutes. But, you know, we've all seen it happen. It could easily happen again. I'm sure the Husky defense is going to do everything they can to keep that from even being a thought.
So on second down and goal from the 14-yard line, Lang takes it. Looking to the corner of the end zone this time. Pass thrown just outside. Hall did make the catch, but was well out of bounds. Still a nice effort there from the senior wideout.
And good coverage there by Evan Owen in on defense this time. I think we've seen him play a little bit of everything this year, from receiver to special teams, now lining up as a cornerback.
Everybody clap your hands.
As you said, Coach Hampton tries to keep his players fresh by just using them on one side of the ball with these late-game situations. It's nice to be able to have those big playmakers that you can turn to on whatever the situation may be, whichever side of the ball. It's now a big third down and goal situation. Lang going to roll out to the near side, throwing down the middle, and this one is intercepted by the Husky defense. Hunter Barnes coming away with a big pick, and that's going to just about wrap things up here for this ball game.
Yeah, that should put the finishing touches on Ashe's third win of the season, starting off 3-0. Big accomplishment for the Huskies.
So Barnes coming away there, as you see again, with a very nice interception. Just chooses to fall down in the end zone then for a touchback. So the Husky offense will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And just a couple of minutes left. That should pretty much, as we said there momentarily, or just a second ago, do this one. Ashe County looking prime position to improve to 3-0 on the season. Look for them just to run this one out. No, they're going to go to the air. Pass is caught by Jacob Blevins. A nice job hanging on to that one. Nice tackle made there by number 18, John Pope. He's come up with some big-time plays here in this second half.
Yeah, he's been one of the few bright spots on the Reynolds defense in the second half, as you said.
A little curious there that Hampton decided to let Bowers drop back and throw that one.
Very confident in his quarterback.
That's right, you said it, and with good reason. You have to throw an interception here tonight. It's been perfect for the most part. Moved the ball very well on offense. Now 2nd down and 3 for the Huskies after the gain of 7 after the catch by Jacob Blevins. And they're going to throw it once again. Hey, why not? Wide open is Jacob Worley out across the 30-yard line. Then a late flag after first down yardage was picked up. Interesting to see what area this penalty marker will be thrown at.
They call a late hit here on the Demon defense.
Looks like that's going to be the case as you see him signal there. Personal foul. And there we do get the call. Late hit against RJ Reynolds. And you hate to see that in this situation. Maybe just a bit of frustration from the Demon defender. So after the penalty, they'll move it out across the 40-yard line, where it will be 1st down and 10 for this Ashe County Husky offense. Ashe County content to just let this play clock run all the way down. Milk every second they can as they are on their way to continuing this perfect season so far, as we see Bowers hold on to this one. on the option. Keeps it himself, moves it out for a gain of about 3-4 yards on 1st and 10. Marked down at the 45-yard line. There'll be 2nd down and 7. And now just look for the Huskies to probably take a knee or two here, and that'll do it. And lining up in victory formation are the Huskies. And quick knee there. And a little bit of a late push there. No need for that from either squad. As we saw number 75, Wayne Walker Jr. tumble to the ground. And will the Huskies even have to get off another snap? That's the only question that remains here in this ball game. As you see, the Huskies improve now to 19-3. The home fans coming to their feet and giving these guys a well-deserved round of applause, and that will do it. As we see the time wind down at the other end of the field on the Dr. Pepper scoreboard, that will do it for this one. 19-3 is your final score. Coming away with a big victory here. Maybe not as many points on the scoreboard as you would imagine from this Ashe County team, but more than enough whenever that defense holds the opposing squad to 3 points.
Absolutely. 2 games in a row where the defense is really limited the points. Watauga only scoring 7 points last week against the defense. And tonight, Ashe only gives up 3 points on a field goal, aided a little bit by some turnovers and penalties, but nonetheless, another good performance by the Huskies.
As we get there, the final rundowns on the team totals for this Ashe County squad. Put up 338 yards of offense, just missed the 300-yard marker, make it 299 to be exact. Rushing only 39 yards. They didn't really need the ground game a lot. They did come away with some big-time ground gain yardage, but 19 first downs picked up. Did have 8 penalties for 59 yards. Both of these squads picking up the penalty yardage in bunches, and you really think that probably played a big factor in Reynolds not putting up more points on the board.
Yeah, I'd say you're exactly right on that. The Husky defense really has something to hang their hat on tonight.
And then as we talk about the big stats there for tonight, the top performers in tonight's games, of course, Connor Bowers goes without saying, 25 of 37, just missed 300 yards, as we mentioned, 3 TDs. Also had 4 carries for 5 yards, and Sky Sullivan, 34 yards on the ground. He also had a big receiving touchdown, and Mason McNeil looking good after coming back from the concussion.
And, of course, Jacob Levins, you see right there, 7 catches, 83 yards, 2 scores. How about sophomore Tristan Jones for the 3rd game in a row, leading tackler for the Huskies, 16 takedowns. And senior Bradley Lucas, big night as well, 15 tackles and 1 sack.
Yeah, we're used to previous seasons. Last year, calling Bradley Lucas's name more on offense, coming out of the tight end position, but they like to line him up on defense more often than not. And he comes away with some big-time plays here tonight, including a big takedown in the backfield, a sack for quarterback Lang. And I'll tell you what, all around, just a great effort once again from the Ashe County Huskies as they improve to 3-0 now on the season. And we look there before we get too far along the Husky schedule for the upcoming season left to go as they come away with another victory here tonight and will actually improve to 3-0. But that big game looms against High Brighton here this next Friday night.
High Brighton's got a trio of stalwart running backs. We've got DeVale Maxwell, big-time runner, Tyshawn Daniels, and youngster Dontavis Caldwell. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see if the Ashe rush defense can keep it going. High Brighton's going to test every bit of that this Friday.
So a very entertaining matchup again here tonight. Your final score, 19-3. The Huskies coming away with a big victory, remaining undefeated on the season, and should be a great game going forward next week into High Brighton, then the bye week, and then we get into conference play against Allegheny, who we just got word they also were victorious here tonight, and so that could potentially be an undefeated matchup to crank up conference play. We thank you once again for tuning in here on the Sky Zone HD Game of the Week, brought to you by Miller Insurance. For everyone here at Sky Zone HD1, I'm Tyler Rash alongside Nathan Ham. Thanks for watching.